Thank you so much for being part of the show. Let's get right into it. This probably won't be a long live, but I wanted to quickly talk, especially to my Aston Villa fans, about everything that's going on, especially in the transfer window, injuries, and so the like. Let's begin with Boubacar Kamara. Per reports, Boubacar Kamara's knee injury is more serious than first thought, and the latest test shows that he's going to be out for the rest of the season. I cannot stress enough just how impactful this is and how horrible this is. We all know the history of Boubacar Kamara and his injuries. It's a problem. It's actually what makes him so great, because he is so committed to the cause. His body just takes so much. This one, of course, was an unfortunate collision with Palhinha from Tottenham, and now Boubacar Kamara once again is out for the rest of the season. I've talked endlessly about Boubacar Kamara. I've talked about his impact and the way that he is as a player. I've talked so much about what he does on the ball, off the ball, how he contributes, a leader. I mean, there are so many things. To me, Boubacar Kamara is one of the most underrated players, not just in the Premier League, but in Europe. And I think he had a legitimate chance of making the French national team squad. And, you know, this is a player that we are going to miss, Villa fans, so much. I wish him a speedy recovery. But this is where I end with my dwelling and my woe is me situation, because we need to now seriously be aggressive in this transfer window. The only silver lining about this situation is that this horrible injury news happened in January, meaning that now Tammy Abraham and Roberto Olave have a very important job, I would say urgent job now, to not just get a number 9, I'll get to that in a second, but also to get a defensive midfielder. This need has now become more urgent. We need to make sure that we get a defensive midfielder that's not going to replicate everything that Boubacar Kamara does, but at the very least somebody that can offer solidity, especially in a situation where Villa find themselves in the Europa League, which returns this week. The Premier League, of course, as we continue to climb up that table and stay in a top 4 situation, only 7 points from the top, even on points with Manchester City, and the FA Cup as well. These are important tournaments, and we are on the precipice of a really good season, so we need to keep going. So what needs to happen now is for Vidagani, Olave, Emery, they all know we need to go out there and be super aggressive. I understand the financial limitations, but we now need to be creative, along with an option to buy, anything that can help us. But the most important thing now that we've dwelled on it, now that we wish him a speedy recovery, is to, number 1, be positive, have a next man up mentality. And please, one thing I ask of Villa fans is to go out there on social media, and whenever you make a comment, especially on a player's feed, make it positive. I cannot stress enough how I believe that positive energy is contagious. And so this is an important time now to be positive and make sure that we support all the players. Everybody, especially Lamar Bogart, George Hemmings, who played very well against Everton as well, Amadou Onana when he returns, everybody. We also still have to wait, by the way, on the latest news regarding John McGinn. I absolutely pray right now that it's not that long, but there are serious talk about making sure that we have this next man mentality and be positive. Whether you go to Villa Park, away fans, online, social, we need to completely support. So Kamara is out for the rest of the season. The most important thing for me now is to get a defensive midfielder. I think that it needs to be somebody that has Premier League experience. We can't be cute here. You can't just get a 19-year-old talented South American that's never played in the Premier League in this position. Alisson is different. Brian Maguire is different. We need somebody that can really help here. Like I said, congested schedule means that we need experience. Okay, so we need to go out there. I've heard about the likes of N'Golo Kante, etc. Obviously, that would be amazing, but perhaps there's a loan with an option to buy in the form of a Marco Asensio or a Rashford, but we need to go out there and seriously try and figure out how we can replicate, at the very least, what Kamara can do. Nobody can do what he can do, but at the very least, add somebody that can add that solidity. The other news is that Tammy Abraham is reportedly getting closer to Aston Villa. The personal terms have been agreed. Obviously, Tammy Abraham has such a special place in the hearts of Aston Villa fans. He scored 26 goals in the 2018-2019 season, helping Aston Villa return to the Premier League. Tammy Abraham himself, I've interviewed him myself, and Tammy Abraham himself has told me, how much he loves Villa and misses Villa, because I talked to him back when he just joined Roma. Tammy Abraham, I think, would be a very good addition. I also wrote an article about it on my Substack, because here's the thing. Unai Emery likes these types of strikers. He's been a fan of Tammy Abraham for a while. Unai Emery, just like Paco Alcácer, just like Edison Cavani, Unai Emery likes these tall, sort of poaching physical players that can help out. And I think that Tammy Abraham is that kind of player. Yes, he's a different player from when he played for us in the Championship. The years have gone by, he's gone through injuries. But as I always say, and as I've talked to many players who've worked under him, it is so different. It is absolutely so different when you are a manager under somebody else and under Unai Emery. I think that Unai Emery can make Tammy Abraham even better. And by the way, not everything is reliant on Tammy Abraham. He's offering a little bit of an alleviated pressure to Ollie Watkins, and he's offering competition to Ollie Watkins. But like I said, we are in 3 competitions: the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Europa League. We need help, and we need legitimate help. So I absolutely welcome Tammy Abraham returning. Right now, it's down to Villa and Besiktas to agree to a fee. Hopefully, it's not that big. Perhaps, I would imagine it's a loan with an option to buy. We'll have to wait and see, but I welcome Tammy Abraham. The other one is Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is returning to Aston Villa per reports as well. There was no clause in the season-long loan to Roma, so Roma broke the clause. It hasn't been going well for him there. So Bailey's returning. Bailey reportedly has talked to Unai Emery about his role and what Unai Emery is willing to offer him. And I think it's down to limited time. I don't think he's going to be given the keys to the pitch here. He's going to have to work for this. And I think that hopefully is going to be an incentive for Leon Bailey to really try and do better, to try and figure something out, to try and prove to himself that he can be the player that he can be. So this is a moment of opportunity, of golden opportunity for Leon Bailey. May I remind you that this is a similar narrative to Emiliano Buendia, who was suffering from injuries, came back, was loaned out to Leverkusen. I thought we saw the last of Emiliano Buendia, to be perfectly honest, and now look what's happened. He comes back and redeems himself. So hopefully Leon Bailey can do the same thing, offer some kind of support at a time when we really need it. So we'll have to wait and see for that. I wonder about Harvey Elliott now. I mean, I talked about John McGinn, and we have to wait about his injury, but I wonder about Harvey Elliott now. I presume he's still going to leave, but maybe there's a conversation he has with Unai Emery, and maybe Harvey Elliott can become more of a central figure. I mean, we have to really be focused here about what we need to do and be very fluid about it. The one thing I keep stressing is that I will not tolerate any woe is me, let's dwell on it, negative comments. Injuries happen, they are devastating, and we hate them. And sometimes we feel as Villa fans that it happens a lot to us, but it's for every club. We just need to focus and keep our eye on the prize. Next man up, no excuses. Support Bogart, support Onana, support George Hemming, support Emiliano Buendia, Ross Barkley, all these players. We need to keep going. And remember, look at that Premier League table right now. Please, look at it. It wasn't so long ago that we won the Championship. It wasn't so long ago where Steven Gerrard said we didn't have a chance against Chelsea. It wasn't so long ago where we were literally in the waters above relegation. And now we're 7 points from the top of the table at the end of January, and we are third, even on points with Manchester City. Okay? We're still in the FA Cup and we're still in the Europa League. So be positive. Please, I ask you to, okay? So that's it. I think that the real end here is that I think that the most aggressive needs right now are a striker. I think Tammy Abraham is getting closer, and then a defensive midfielder. Those two are not just things that we desire. They're things that we really, truly need yesterday. And so hopefully that will happen. I will return with more videos and more content. I just wanted to do this quick live here to let you know that, we need to remain positive and understand that we are still going on an amazing journey. We just have to keep supporting that team. Boubacar Kamara is out for the rest of the season. In 2023-2024, I do believe Aston Villa earned Champions League football without Boubacar Kamara towards the latter stages of the season. Granted, it was by the skin of our teeth, but we did it. So it can be done. Next man up, no excuses, now, then, and forever, up the Villa.